I can't hear you. Unmute.
I was on YouTube. I was trying to get out of YouTube so I could go on here. I said we're now live on YouTube. So yes. So we're ready to rock and roll. Hey Joan. Great to see you. I love when people get on camera. So it's you don't have to get on camera, but we do like when we see people on camera. So
Yeah,
okay. So sweetheart, you ready to rock and roll?
yeah, ready.
So I am
Okay.
Greg, and this is my beautiful wife Mena. She's in South Africa. I am in Sarasota, Florida. I'm glad to finally get my voice back. I was in St. Louis, Missouri over the past 4 days, and it was dry. I felt like the Sahara. It was so dry there. I'm like, I was this morning. I woke up dry because I was flying on a couple of planes out of Atlanta. But again, we're going to be sharing this amazing, awesome, phenomenal technology, this patch. Lily, I've got mine on. Hope you got yours on. But again, if you haven't found out about this patch yet, you need to know more about this patch. So again, we're going to share a little bit more about this real quick. I'm going to have my wife kind of go through all the what we're going to go through today, and then we'll get started and play a quick video and get moving forward. So, beautiful wife,
Yeah.
Mena, can you please share a little?
So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us. If you're in Johannesburg, it is really cold. So, thank you for jumping on. And those of you who are on, please send out a message to the people you've invited and let them know that we're getting started. And if you're on here for the first time, please uh, send a message in the chat and let us know who invited you. And do make sure that you get back with the person that invited you. But we also wanted to say we are not medical professionals, so we're not here to tell you that this amazing light therapy technology actually cures or does any miracles. But we cannot stop sharing because it is absolutely amazing. The results people are getting are absolutely amazing. So I'm done, and stay on mute, and we will give everybody a chance, if we finish early, to come off and to share or ask questions. But thank you
Yeah.
for being here.
Absolutely. So we're dividing and conquering on different continents, which is kind of cool. But again, we've heard about this patch specifically through a friend of ours, Ken and Diana Burke. I knew them for over 10 years. I've done a lot of business with them for over the years, and they told me, about this amazing patch. They knew I had some challenges, but they didn't realize how many challenges I had because I had a car accident back in 2016 where someone plowed into the back of my car going about 60 miles an hour. For those of you who everywhere else in the world, it was about 100 kilometers an hour, and totaled my car, damaged my neck, my shoulder, my back. Later on, I had a knee injury that affected my right hip. So I had 5 areas of pain. He said, "You got to try this patch." I said, "I'll try anything." Well, 3 days later, no issues with my knee, my hip, my shoulder, my neck, my back. I'm like, what in the world is this? How does this work? And I researched all this. I spent several hours researching this. And about 2 hours later, I'm like going, oh my goodness, this is amazing. This is going to change the world. This is amazing. And so I was talking with a friend of mine. Actually, Josh was just in St. Louis with them. He did the same thing. He researched some things, but then he went to his neighbor who's a doctor, and the doctor said, if this actually activates your stem cells, he goes, that's going to change the world. And it is. It's a little changing the world. So we're going to talk more about this technology, what it is. But the most important part to this is that if you understand, people today are looking for solutions physically, mentally, and also financially. So we're going to talk about all those things. But I'm going to play a quick 3-minute video for you. It talks a little bit about us, about the team, the company, and stuff like that. And then we'll share a little bit more from there. So let me get this rolling, and then we can go over this a little bit more. So here we go. Oops, come on. There we go. Oh my gosh. Doesn't want to play. There we go.
In a world searching for answers, one discovery is changing everything. A patch, no bigger than a quarter, built not to treat symptoms, but to wake up the healer inside you. This is X39, a wearable, light-activated patch. Designed by David Schmidt, an inventor with over 200 patents. His mission? To reverse aging naturally. This isn't science fiction. It's stem cell activation without injections, without pills. Your body repairing itself. The results? Life-changing energy, recovery, sleep, relief. And the medical world? It's taking notice. Still skeptical? Visit thisisitinfo.com. You'll find the studies, the patents, the proof. It's all there. But there's more. This tiny patch isn't just transforming lives, it's creating freedom. Because behind it is a business model built for the bold. Real people, real results. Income that scales with impact. And here's why. Because this breakthrough technology is patented and exclusive, it offers a lucrative business plan that allows you to compound your efforts. More people than ever are struggling in today's economy. You can no longer rely on your own sweat equity alone to make a living. This business model allows you to duplicate yourself and, even better, to benefit from other people's efforts. So your income no longer depends solely on you. By duplicating yourself over and over, the income potential is far greater than a conventional job, career, or profession. And you're never alone. The This Is It system gives you the tools, the path, the team. All you have to do is start. The question is no longer if it works, it's whether you'll act or let this moment pass. Will you keep waiting or finally feel your body come alive again? Will you stay financially stuck or build something that lasts? Isn't it time to start living life on your own terms? The This Is It action plan will set you on a path to live out the dreams you have for your family. Get back with the person who shared this video so you can experience the age-reversing health and the exciting lifestyle that thousands are already enjoying. This is the technology, this is the team, and this is your moment. This is it.
And this is true. This is it. This is what we've been praying for. We've been looking for our whole lives. Like I've said, for me, I was looking for solutions. And so the one thing when I started researching it, I found out about David Schmidt. An interesting thing about him, I didn't know anything about him, didn't know anything about the company, but he's a CEO and inventor of the X39. And he's got over 200 patents, as you heard in the video. He's a scientist and inventor specializing in age reversing. I'm always like, thank God for people like this that take their life and dedicate it to making our lives healthier and better, right? But in 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research because he knew that this is going to change the world, obviously, through activating our stem cells in our body. And so people are realizing this. And this one product took 10 years and $4.5 million with research and development. So I did the research. My wife didn't yet. So she's like, yeah, go get checked out by your doctor. But when she saw the patent, that's when things kind of opened up for her.
Yeah, so I was pretty skeptical, wanted nothing to do with this, and I, said to Greg, "You go ahead." But his result was undeniable. When he stopped moaning and groaning. I mean, after moaning and groaning for 6 years, something changed, and I thought, "Oh my goodness, let me take a look at this. Let me, kind of research a little, like a good attorney does." And I found out that there is a patent. And the patent was registered in July 2020. And I started to read this and I saw things like this particular paragraph talking about embodiment and talking about providing phototherapy to the human body, elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvement in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvements in stamina, elevation of collagen production. I mean, I was already sold at the inflammation part, and then when I saw collagen production, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm taking all powders and potions and everything I can find that has collagen in. And then also improve wound healing. And, I thought to myself, I'm not going to miss out. And, a patent is never registered unless you prove that the product is one of a kind. And also, any of these statements that David has made in this patent, he can't just, they're not going to allow this to pass unless it's proved that these things in fact happen. So at that point, I was, okay, I'm on board, and I started to use the product myself. So why X39? It's a stem cell activation patch, and stem cells actually make up every organ in our body. You know, people think that, oh, it's for hair and skin, but it's absolutely everything in our body. And as we age, our stem cells become dormant. At age 30, they say half our stem cells are inactive. Only half of them are active. And nobody tells us that. I didn't know that. I still tell people that, you know, when I meet them, and nobody has told me I know that. No one. At age 60, less than 10% of our stem cells are active. So what does that mean? We're all walking around with stem cells that are doing absolutely nothing. And then we wonder why we feel sluggish, you know.
And so the interesting part about this is that really what happens that, and David Schmidt understood this, that opportunity happens by creating solutions. And so he's an inventor and scientist, so he's always finding solutions. And so one thing that we realized really quick is that there's a couple current problems to solve. Once again, no one knows their stem cells are going dormant. They just know they're feeling the results of that happening in the aging process. So we provide obviously stem cell reactivation. The second part, so many people struggle financially. We offer income generating business that actually help people generate income. Most of you probably know some people that right now are going, I got to work extra hours. I got to find another job. We call it the gig economy here in the United States. They call it, having side gigs. Basically, people are doing things with like Instacart and for, Uber and all kinds of stuff like that. I was driven home by a guy from Lyft, actually from the airport yesterday, because again, people are looking for ways to create income. And this is what we're doing. We're helping people to generate income. So how X39 works is basically it's a proprietary form of phototherapy. Now, I live in the Sunshine State. Men is in Johannesburg, which is obviously very sunny as well. Maybe not today, but most days. What happens when you go out in the sun hits our skin, which elevates basically things in our body, like vitamin D. Our skin is our biggest organ in the body, so it's actually healthy to be in the sun. Well, this basically has patented nanocrystal technology in the patch itself. So when you take the patch, in fact, I'll peel it off to show you. When you take the patch, you can't really see the crystals or nanocrystal technology, but it's a little stick. It's got stickers, so get adhesive on it. But as soon as you put it on your skin, now what happens is start elevating and activating things in our bodies, like GHK copper peptides that activate our stem cells, reduce inflammation, increase collagen levels 200-400%, and a whole lot more. The best part about this, there's no drugs, no chemicals, no stimulants in this. It reflects your own light to activate. So we emit a light and heat 24/7. If I put night vision goggles on, you look glow in the dark. So it reflects our light, hits the patch, reflects back in. So it's non-transdermal. Nothing goes in the body. It's non-invasive, which is absolutely huge.
So the benefits of X39, all of these benefits I have experienced. David talks about achieving optimal health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Well, I looked at the slide and I said, oh my goodness, everything. Increased strength, reduced inflammation was one of the things I felt pretty quickly. I used to have quite a bit of stiffness in my hands, and that's completely gone. Increased stamina, the ability to keep going during the day and not get that slump in the afternoon. Energy and vitality, mental clarity. We hear a lot of people talking about mental clarity, restored muscle and skeletal conditions, improved sleep, a big one for me as an attorney. A lot of you have heard my story. For many years, I thought that's what I signed up for when I started law school, was no sleep. Well, maybe as a student, but just never to sleep and worry all the time, constantly about, are you doing the right thing? Are you helping the person properly? Worrying. And I was blown away the first night. It was probably 2.5 weeks after wearing the patch consistently. I had the most amazing sleep. I slept right through the night. And that has been consistent in the last 3 years. So it's got nothing to do with worry. Worry is gone. It's out of the window. Because that's what it helps. I mean, if it's going to give you mental clarity and balance the brain cells, it's going to take away anxiety and worry, improve skin appearance. We're seeing that with a lot of our friends and family. People are talking about the glow, like they're glowing, and we hear that, So you need to experience it. If you're on here for the first time and you haven't, you need to experience this.
Yeah, and so I got the same thing. I restored muscle and skeletal conditions. Like I said, my body went to homeostasis. My chiropractor couldn't even adjust me. I was going every day for years, and Lilia went to him, and he couldn't even adjust me because my body went to homeostasis, which is huge.
So the long-term results, and this you can go find on thisisaninfo.com per case studies. 4,000 genes begin to reset. You know, we have about 12,000 genes, and 4,000, a third of those begin to reset in the first few days. And so that we hear often from people, oh my goodness, I have a lot more energy. Well, that's because 4,000 of your genes are beginning to reset. Your brain becomes balanced. Collagen increases. How many people are buying collagen? Collagen powders, collagen shots, all types of things. Here your own collagen levels are increasing. Your heart reverses in age. And David is bold enough to say it's not anti-aging, it's age reversing. And you know, we have to give the disclaimer, LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. But we're sharing this with you this evening or this afternoon because we feel it is our social responsibility. We found something that is helping a lot of our friends. And you may just be the next person, you know.
Absolutely. And so what's interesting is how we wear this is very, very simple. Now, I'm showing my wrist today because I'm out in public today. I got some meetings with some people, so it's easier to share this than I can point on the back of my neck. But a preferred spot is actually the C7. If you reach on the back of your neck, there's a little bump back there. That is literally on your spinal column, the C7, where your central nervous system connects to the rest of your body. You can also wear it, if you see over here below your belly button. You can put it pretty much anywhere you want to. I tell my friends, because all the brain damage they've done, brain damage, I say put it on your forehead. No, but seriously, I say once again, you want to wear it for 12 hours a day, so it elevates, activates, and regenerates your body. It elevates copper peptides that activate your stem cells and regenerate your body. You remove it, so 9 o'clock tonight, I'm gonna take mine off, throw it out, and basically because you want to rest, repair, and rejuvenate, and that's really what it is. The other thing they should have in here too is that you want to drink lots of good water. So this is actually really good spring water. We got some minerals in there, which is very, very good for you. So the challenge we have here in the United States is a lot of people have reverse osmosis systems or purification systems, or something that basically by purified water. Well, that removes everything. The challenge with that is it doesn't have the minerals that we need, and we need minerals to detox. So we're having some planned, I would say, epidemics that are going on in our country today because people aren't mineralizing they should, and they're not hydrating like they should, because you need the minerals to also hydrate you well. So once again, just wearing it 12 hours a day is pretty simple. That's all you got to do. So the testimonies are basically emotional and very life changing. So I'm going to share a couple different things with some people, and then I'm going to share a quick video that kind of shares a little bit more about this, because again, we got thousands and thousands and thousands of recorded videos personally. And so what we got is we just grabbed one today to play for you, but I want you to hear some things from other people, because specifically there's people say, well, are doctors utilizing this? Yeah, I was just with about 7 doctors this weekend. And in fact, Dr. Amy Wicks is someone who's actually going to be presenting this coming Thursday, because she's talking about how the power, she says several hundred patients that are using this product and getting tremendous results. 95% of plus or of the patients are getting tremendous results. So Dr. Adam Shiner, he's a MD, plastic surgeon, knows his stuff, right? But he said he looked at the wound healing properties, and the normal time when he does facial plastic surgery to recover is 6 to 8 weeks. He starts now sending people patches 30 days prior, and they start using the patch prior to the procedure. Now they're recovering in 7 to 10 days. Which used to take a month and a half to a month and a half to 2 months, is now taking 7 to 10 days for the same kind of recovery, because your stem cells are activating, rejuvenating. The collagen helps tremendously too. Here's another doctor, actually Dr. Leland Stillman. He's on the website. This is an info. You can watch his interview. It's the 5th video down, and you can hear from him talking about this. Because at first he said, what's this tiny little patch going to do? And I was like the same thing. I'm like, well, I'll try anything. So he said, well, let me try it with some of my patients, test it out. And he was blown away. He said, if you want to work with me, you must use this product. The other doctors, same thing. A lot of doctors like, if you want to work with me and get the results that you want, you must use this patch. But we have pictures before and afters, and we have so many different pictures I could show with you. And once again, day 1, day 42, basically a year later, look at the difference here. Now, if you don't notice a difference on this, it'll help with your eyesight as well. Now, how about now? Now, do you notice a difference? Now, these are real pictures. These are not AI photos. I mean, all this AI stuff's going on right now. We're real, pinch yourself if you're real. No, but we're not AI. We're basically just telling the truth of what's going on. So this is an example. If you don't believe that, how about this one? Here's a guy who fell through the rafters. Literally fell through the rafters, broke 6 ribs, punctured his lung. They said the recovery time was going to be 6 weeks plus, right? Less than 2 weeks later, look at the difference. He was back to work within 3 weeks. I show this a lot of doctors. They go, that's not normal. I'm like, no, it's normal with this patch when you use it. So we have other people with skin conditions. My wife, she talks about, she goes, had some inflammation. No, her fingers were like sausages. Like, so again, she had skin irritations, all kinds of stuff. I praise God because it's amazing the differences in her body, my body, not including all the thousands and thousands of people around the world that we're working with. But you look at the differences, it's night and day. So the part that I love about this is that you get an opportunity to help other people with challenges. You look at other things like vertigo. I mean, this is an amazing, we've got so many of these people that have vertigo that's reversing. It's absolutely phenomenal. So again, I'll have Mena talk about our good friend here.
Yeah, so Eleni is a good friend of ours out of Florida, and we go to church together. We've known her for over 6 years, and we've been using this product for 3 years. So we've known her with this pre-existing condition, and it is an autoimmune. Hair falls out, doesn't grow back, and she had had every type of lotion, potion, steroid injection in her hair, tried everything, resorted to wearing hats and wigs to cover that up. And then when I saw the website and I saw what it said about the product, I was like, hey, you know what? I don't know if this is going to help you, but do you want to take a look at this? And she did. And she said, well, she's tried everything else and it hasn't helped. So she may as well try this. And you can see for yourself the before and after. I mean, I was at a family event yesterday and I had a few people asking me about, what am I doing and so on, because they're all seeing like Facebook posts they wanted to know. And I started sharing with them and I shared with them a little bit about because I had this on and I shared it with them and then I shared this testimony. A lot of women struggle with this. They may not tell you, you may not know, because they cover up well. I didn't know that Eleni struggled with it. Found out only later. So do you think she's forever grateful that I shared with her? She keeps saying, my goodness, I'm so glad you told me.
Yeah. And just a couple other ones. There's a gentleman that actually is someone who's on here. They're a good friend. Actually had some challenges with Parkinson's. Now, again, we can never guarantee anything. We can't make any claims. But just as an example, once again, here's someone who's actually suffering severely. Honestly, even told us on an interview, we can play the interview for you another time, but he said he didn't want to live anymore. He just even said it was getting worse and worse and worse. He could barely even feed himself, barely do anything, definitely could not drive a car, could not do anything else. And now, literally a couple years later, he's water skiing. Now, look at the difference. So even as Lifeway patches, and with the grace of God, we live daily in awe of miracles, in our lives. And so here's another one. We talk about blood pressure. I just had something the other day. Once, how they track this. And again, the blood pressure. We tell people all the time, do before and afters. Within a couple days, look at 226 over 108 compared to 170 over 85 within 2 days. So if you like that idea, it's pretty powerful. So I'm not going to play this video. I got one that's actually on YouTube. I was trying to insert it, but I couldn't get it inserted. So I'm just going to go live here on YouTube real quick. Hopefully it's going to play okay. So give me a second here. Here we go. And it's just powerful. And I'm not sure if she's on here or not, but again, Mena has different Zoom issues for women, and she was able to share this amazing technology or this amazing testimony here. So I'm going to play this real quick. It's about 3 minutes long. So here you go.
I am Norwegian Swedish, but I live on the beautiful island of Mallorca in the Mediterranean in Spain. And I've been with LifeWave just over a year now and using the patches regularly for over a year, and my results are amazing, but I'm not here to talk about my results actually. My friend Lana is also a customer. She called me last week and she was very excited because last year she had some heart problems and she was tested and they found that she had heart arrhythmia and her heart had stopped. She had a pause, one 5 seconds and one 6 seconds, which to me sounds like a lot. And that was in April. In June, she started with the patches. She's been patching ever since. She called me after 2 weeks and she said, Catherine, I'm a little bit scared. It feels like something is happening to my heart. But I'm going to go on anyway, because I told her that this cannot hurt your heart. So you don't have to worry. Just keep on going. If you want to go to the doctors and check, please do. And she said, no, I'm not afraid. I'm just going to keep on going. And then this year, in this summer, she was tested again. She was wearing like this EKG box on her body for a week. And she got the results last week, and that's when she called me, and she said that doctors they do not understand what happened, because my heart is completely healthy. There's no heart arrhythmia, no nothing. And she said, I am convinced it's the patches, she said.
Wow.
So yeah, they actually said they were afraid there was something wrong with the machine. So they need to test her again. But she says, I feel awesome. I have no problem with my heart. I don't feel anything. So
Pretty amazing. So we talk about that all the time. We say, heart reverses in age, and that's really what happens. So the biggest part of this that we tell people, again, we want to, make sure that you understand that this product, we can't guarantee anything, but we're seeing amazing things happen. And as we talk about heart reverses in age, we're seeing that happen, all the time. So the biggest parts of this that we always share with people, again, is that there's so many testimonials, and you can go actually to the website. You can go to some of the different other places. So actually, whoops. Keeps doing that, popping that up. So what we recommend is go to thisisitinfo.com. At the very top here, basically it's got the case studies and the stuff like that. You can scroll through, see the same thing, but then it's got, once again, testimonials. Click on that, and it's going to have all these words of all these challenges people have. When you click on that, you'll see usually 2, 3, 4, 5 videos, and then they're adding stuff all the time. Again, I got to redo my video. Men's got to redo her video, so it's going to be on there as well. But there's hundreds of thousands of people all over the world that are having tremendous results, if not even millions, that are having tremendous results. But we just, once again, just want to share a couple things tonight. But once again, go to thisisitinfo.com so you can find out more. So Money, we're going to talk a little bit more about the company.
Yeah, so when we started using the patch, when we found out about the patch, we did not know that this company, LifeWave, existed. They are a 21-year-old company now, and they are open in over 75 plus countries around the world, and continuing to open every day. At the time of the introduction of the patch, which we saw the patent was registered in 2020, the company was sitting at about 20 million US dollars in revenue. But you can see that 2022, 2023, 2024, the revenue has increased dramatically, all the way to over 600 million last year. 2024, we closed over 600 million US. Now that's growth of over 580 million US dollars in 4 years. And just because the product, the X39, was introduced at that point, and we're pushing to $1 billion this year. So there's an upward trend. LifeWave is now ranked #1 in momentum for growth per businessforhome.org. So like I said, an upward track for the company. So we're part of something really, really big.
Yeah. And so we just won. This is a brand new slide, just was put in today. The LifeWave just won the 2025 Biotech Breakthrough Award. So it even talks about here, once again, LifeWave product wins the Stem Cell Innovation Year of the Year Award in 2025 Biotech Breakthrough Award Program. Once again, thousands of nominees from over 15 different countries were nominated for this, and once again, LifeWave won. It is a game changer. We're getting all kinds of awards, all kinds of recognition, for all these different things, which is huge. So I had a friend of mine who said, where did you get them from? I said, my wife sent it to me because it was posted all over Facebook, all over social media, because people are hearing more and more about it. And the part that I love about this system, this is it system. That's the name of our team. We're going to talk about that in a second. But once again, our system allows you to duplicate your efforts. If you like the idea of duplicating your time, because J. Paul Getty said, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. Well, who's J. Paul Getty? He was the first U.S. billionaire. Now, he was a billionaire when there was no other billionaires in the world, so he was the first U.S. billionaire to say. So he basically talked about that, and we agree with that. So we have now thousands of people all over the world that are part of our team. Even if everybody just spent 1 hour a week doing this, we have thousands of hours a week working on our team, which is very, very powerful. So the big thing that we want to do is talk to you right now about kind of really what's important in your life. Because we basically were looking for solutions. We were looking for different things physically. We were also looking for things financially. I mean, we had multiple streams of income. We still do, but the difference on that was that we were looking for something that was going to be able to get me out of my job. And so for us, the #1 thing for us is family time. That's the reason my wife's in South Africa right now. I'm heading up to Michigan for Thanksgiving next week. So To be up there with my family for Thanksgiving. She's going to be here with her family, even though South Africa doesn't necessarily celebrate Thanksgiving. And spending time with the family. And then I'm joining her the week after. I'm flying to South Africa, spending a month there with our team and with her family and everything else. Why? Because we have time. So that's when it's kind of cool. So what happened for me, the word that's not in here is basically independence. I was looking for financial independence so I could get rid of my job. I was working, crazy hours, working, making good money. But once again, the company I worked for basically had a real good mentorship management program, and they became tormentorship management is the only way I could put it. They started becoming micromanagers. If you're a part of a team like that, it is not fun. And it was just, and it just literally got to the point where they're just demanding this and demanding that and demanding. I'm like going, I feel like a cog in the wheel, even though I've been with the company for 9 years. And so the interesting part about that, I was looking for a way out. This came along, and within 14 months was able to replace my income. Several months later, fired my job. Lily walked into freedom, and Lily, we've quadrupled our income since, and it's growing by leaps and bounds. We're just getting started. So that provides security. When you talk about residual income, a lot of people are looking for a secondary income. This provides more security. How about the idea of travel? Menon, I don't usually ask her to do this, but you want to talk a little bit about some of the travel we've been able to do in the past couple of years?
Yeah, well, we actually have had 7 free trips with the company.
You just
So
qualified for 8. Yep.
we've traveled lots of Europe. We've just been notified that we have now been awarded our 8th free trip. Okay. So, and there's another one coming up for next year as well. So, the amazing thing is we get all these free trips with the company, but we have personally been able to travel to many, many places. I mean, many parts of Europe, South Africa, obviously many times. Also, Mexico. We've done a lot of the islands and so on. So, and a lot of it, like I said, has been free, fully paid for, beautiful resorts, amazing things. So a lot of the serendipities, but then the freedom to actually take a break and to go away and not to have to worry about getting back to work. A boss like calling to find out when you're coming back to work. No, we actually schedule our own vacations, and we find the time to work this into our day, because this can be worked from anywhere. You can be anywhere in the world and you can do this as long as you have an internet connection, you have a computer or a smartphone. You can work this business because there's people everywhere, and everyone actually needs what we have.
Yeah, and feel free to put in the chat right now what's important in your life. Now, it might be some of these things, might be something different. And if you go, well, I really don't have anything. If you love the idea of travel, if I could buy you tickets anywhere in the world, where would you want to go first? Maybe what are your top 3 places? Feel free to put that in there, because we'd love to hear from you, different things like that. So another one for a lot of people putting in here, better health. I have a lot of people chat all the time, better health, basically no pain, whatever it is. So all these different things. How about, because they talk your wealth is your health is your wealth, right? And how about zero debt? Not only less debt, but how about zero debt? How about being able to pay off your debt? We got a couple of ours that we're working with right now. They're going to be debt free this next year, very, very easily. So they're doing the right things, but they're using this money to pay off their debt, and then basically work towards total freedom. So whatever you put in, whatever you want to do, I challenge you to write it down and share with the person who invited you more about what your goals are, where your ambitions are, your aspirations with this product or with the business. Now we're going to kind of shift and talk, a little bit more about the business. So it's amazing. So we literally have 9 ways that we can actually earn income from this. We're going to highlight just 3. But what happens is that you actually have money that you can earn, and you basically, as you're doing this, you can start growing your business and start making a certain amount per week. So you can make up to $25,000 a week just from this one way called the binary bonus. So what happens is that when you get started, we get you started at the wholesale price, so you get the product at wholesale, which is great. The second thing is that we want to help you become a what's considered a 1-star manager. As a 1-star manager, you basically have put 1 right and 1 left, and then become a 1-star manager. Then when you put another 1 right, another 1 left, you become a 2-star manager. But then we want to help you become a 3-star manager, so you can make up to $1,500 a week. When we start making that money, it was significant to us. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is really working. And then we start helping other people do the same thing, and you start making this kind of, so it starts growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. Now, the thing is that this is capped here, not a bad cap, $1.3 million a year, but this is one of 9 ways that we actually make money. So let me highlight the next one real quick, which is, like I just mentioned, the 1 and 2-star managers. So we say, how do people get started? We have a 21-day fast start program. So we have a lot of people say, well, I want to make money pretty quickly. Well, how would you like to make an extra $3,000 in the next, 3 to 4 weeks? We can help you do that. It's a program, it's a systematic thing. So it's very, very simple. All we do is duplicate what we do. So we get you started, put one right. Well, this could be a cousin, this could be a best friend. So within 40 hours, we call it, out of the gate in 48. So within 48 hours, we help you become one-star manager, and you make an extra $25 a week for the first 9 weeks by just doing that alone. You're going to make money by helping people sign up, which is another way we make money by doing that. Now we want to do within the first week. We always say left and right by Monday night. So we got out of the gate in 48, and another left, another right, could be another, good friend and another cousin, whatever it is. Could be a brother, a sister, an aunt, a parent, a neighbor. We get a neighbor next door. I was just working with her earlier today. So we're helping her get one-star manager to actually today, and she'll be a probably two-star manager by the end of this week. And that helps you make an extra $50 a week. So I always tell people, imagine just from this alone making about $1,000. But now as you duplicate this, now what happens, we help other people do the same thing. Within 21 days, we have a way you can make $3,000 plus. Now, if you like that idea, we did that. That's exactly what we did. Our very first month, we made almost $3,000. They didn't even have this program. We just shared it with as many people as we could because we're like, oh my goodness, this is going to help so many people. And then when people start calling you going, oh my goodness, this is going on, this is going on, I'm getting better sleep, better focus, better energy, my knee doesn't hurt anymore, all kinds of stuff. I mean, amazing situations happen. It's pretty cool. So I'll have Meta share this because this is one of the ones that is super exciting. It's unlimited.
Yeah. And it also is, to me, I always used to think about what an opportunity where you can make money while you sleep. Well, this is actually what happens because when you're building business all over the world and you have people that are tied in with your team, that are awake while you're sleeping and they're sharing this opportunity with their friends while you're sleeping. And you wake up in the next morning and you see that somebody else has now joined your team. This is really making money while you sleep. And the wonderful thing is that, we showed the opportunity to max out at different levels, at different amounts, and the max was $25,000 a week. Well, here it's unlimited. You actually make a decision. What do you want your check to look like every single week? Because we get paid every week. So you get paid a mentor matching bonus because what we do is we help our team people. We help people that are part of our team to actually rank to the next level, to get to the next level. And what does the company do? They start to recognize that and they start to pay you these percentages, which are termed mentor matching bonus. So the more you work with the people that are being placed underneath you, and the more you help them to rise like a rising tide that is raising all ships, we talk about that. So the more you help the people rise to the ranks that you're at, you are going to be paid all these different percentages. Look at this. I mean, so you got to consider your first generation. So Greg spoke about putting two in 48 hours and then putting another two in within a week. And so when we went out there and we actually spoke with Tamsin. Tamsin is our first generation. And then Tamsin spoke to Joan, who's on here this evening, and Joan is considered second generation. Now, Joan is speaking to her brother. Her brother will get started, and he would be third generation. And you can see that as you move up these different ranks, all the way to three-star presidential, you can get paid percentages of every generation down to your sixth generation. And it's obviously it's generations that are building, generations that are doing something, because those that are not, that are just utilizing the product, those they start to skip them. So you could go way down to someone who's on the 10th generation and make a 7% or a 10% off of them, and all the way up to 20%, maxing out at $20,000 per person per week. So imagine getting paid off of 10 people, $20,000 a week at the max of that particular individual. I mean, so the sky's the limit, and there are people that are actually getting paid that kind of money every single week.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's not just for them. There's something that I heard one of our teammates actually say, it's not just for some, it's for everyone. But you have to want it. You have to be ambitious enough to actually go out there and do what? Just share.
Yeah.
All we're doing is sharing.
Yeah. Absolutely. And there's 9 ways. Like, and we just highlighted a couple different ones. So again, this is the biggest one here because you can make so much money. But the thing I want you to think about also is if something happens to you today, if you're working a job, does your spouse get to continue getting that income, or does your family continue getting that income? I'll tell you right now, 99% of people know. With them being might have insurance and stuff like that, which is fine, but that runs out, right? So with this, it's ongoing residual income that continues growing, even if you're not building a business, because these are all business owners. All of them start growing the business. So we've got over 230, 240 different generation one that we started. And again, it's an 80-20, just like anything else. 20% do 80% of the work and 80% do 20% of the work. So that's what it is. So we're looking for leaders who want to run. And then they find people who find people who find people. So the fun part about this is you just start growing and you can basically accomplish whatever you want. In the next 2 to 5 years, you can become wealthy. And that's what I tell people all the time. Whatever you want to do, we've been able to just grow astronomically, and we're just getting started. So compared to a traditional business, what we call a conventional business, this is a game changer. So I've been working with business owners for over 30 years, working with them to save money, their operating expenses, and take that money, put in creative marketing, and help them scale their business. The last 10 years specifically in digital marketing specifically, but I help them in other areas. So every company I work with, every single one, no matter, even if it's a home-based business, they have a high startup cost. So if you're a landscaping company or you're a plumbing company, I mean, the costs are just crazy. I was working with a guy just this past weekend, and they've got a business. He said, yeah, minimum. He said, in order to break even, he said, and we have a low cost, we got to make at least $7,000 to basically per month to basically just break even. And he said, because our expenses are $7,000. So there's a gal that's a part of their, they got all these different offices in there. And one of the gals spent $100,000 on a specific machine that we do more with this than that thing does. I mean, it's pretty crazy. So once again, you took a high startup cost. This is low startup cost. You can start on a credit card, very simple. High risk. You talk about putting $100,000, into a piece of equipment, hoping that you're going to get paid back. She might get paid back in 10, 15, 20 years, right? No risk in this. Long hours. Once again, you make your own schedule here. We're doing this part-time on the site. We're still doing it part-time. It's a part-time business paying huge full-time income. It's trial and error over here. I mean, it takes usually 5 to 7 years to develop a system. We have a proven system that's been decades long. It's amazing. And the limited earning potential, this is unlimited, just like Mena just showed you. So it's huge. So how we get started is so simple. Basically, there's an order form. I don't really have it. I just got back from out of town, but I usually have an app in my lap. I always tell people. So I've got there it is. I got the order form always with me. It got folded up a little bit because I was traveling. But again, I got the order form with me so that I can talk to people. And once again, I get people on the phone and we say, let's fill in your details. Basically name, address, phone number, stuff like that. We get them started. But what happens is that in here, there's a couple different packages that you have. We want to get it to you at the wholesale price. I always tell people, you want to pay retail or do you want to pay wholesale? And my neighbor even said, she goes, explain wholesale to me again. I said, it's a better price. She goes, oh yeah, that's good. So what's interesting is that we help them basically get the product wholesale. Then I'm like, would you also like the opportunity to get your product for free? And so a lot of people are like, hey, if it's free, it's for me. My wife says if it's free, I'll take 3, especially when there's chocolate involved, right? So once again, when you think about all these different things, we have all these different packages you can get. And again, there's 4 packages, and that's all it is more product, and you get it even a better price. This is the most popular one. We got the biggest package. Some of you might go, I can't do that. But compared to a traditional business, instead of investing $100,000 in a machine, it's $1,070, you get 20 sleeves. Now, we don't go out selling the sleeves. What we do is we market it basically and say, hey, tell you what, if you get registered today, I'll lend you one of my sleeves, and when your product comes in, you can just give me one back. So we call it a place and replace. So when we did that, we made this money back in 2.5 weeks. How do we do that? Because when you sign up premium, you make money. You make Advanced Plus, you make money. So we signed up several premiums, Advanced Plus, Advanced Core. We signed these people up, and now all of a sudden we started making our money back. Our first month, we made about $3,000. And we have not made anything less than that, to give you an idea. Now we're making a whole lot more than that per week. So when you understand, then we get people set up on basically where they're not going to run out. So we get them set up on 2 sleeves a month. So if you say, how do I maximize the profitability? That was my question. Okay, how do I maximize the profitability? They said you want to be at least on the advanced pack with 2 sleeve auto ship. That's it. Now I say, well, give me the biggest pack because I want to have enough product to lend to people. And if someone wants to buy it around the spot, they can do that, right? So it's pretty cool. So, and everything has a 30-day money back guarantee. But I do tell people, buyer beware. There's some scams out there. There's people that are, because this patch is so popular, there's companies out of China that are manufacturing literally a placebo patch. It's got nothing in it. It's basically made of cotton. They've tested it out. So if you see something online that's being sold somewhere else, you got to get it from a brand partner, because if you don't, it's not real. I'll tell you that right now. This is real deal. That's how they can guarantee a 30-day money back guarantee, and it flat out works. So it's pretty awesome. So again, just to finish up real quick, we'll cover a couple more things, then we're done. So these are the different bundles and different packages that we talk about. This is a brand new slide. So it talks about, once again, $98 a sleeve, $89, $89, 87. I said I want this biggest one here because, again, I get the best price for everything else I was looking for, and then it's just a one-time purchase. So our monthly cost $200 a month. That's it. So I told the guy his is $7,000 a month plus headaches and everything else. I said mine's $200 a month. He goes, how much revenue you making? I told him. He goes, are you kidding me? I said, no. So he just signed up. He's like, okay, sign me up. So we got a new brand partner in St. Louis because it's pretty cool. So again, Mena, you want to share this just real quick?
Yeah, so the wonderful thing is, is that we get all the tools. We're not kind of left to our own, how do we do this business? We're given everything that we need to be successful at this. And we shared already on thisisatinfo.com, which is the website that we share with the doctors as well as with the stay-at-home mom who's taking care of her children, because it has everything that people need from, testimonials, case studies, anything that people are looking for, but they cannot purchase off that site, which is wonderful. And we don't have to try and put together our own websites. It's all given to us. Then thisisateam.com is the site that we use, the team uses. It has the A to Z of how to do this and how to become successful. Because Steve and Gina Merritt, who are our team leads, actually said, you know what? We want everybody to be as successful as we are, because why? What happens? It raises their ship on the water, right? So they want everybody who is part of this as a team to have all the secrets of how to attain the success. And you'll find this all on thisisateam.com. If you've not looked through this website, take down the name, go and look there. You'll be able to see compensation plan. You'll be able to see little tutorials. What does manager 1-star look like? Manager 2-star, etc. So you're not left behind. Everybody's learning together. It's a duplicatable, scalable, plug and play. We share it with everybody.
Yeah, it's so simple. You get started. So really now is the time to make your move. And we tell people all the time, if you're serious about your dreams, then this is it. The team itself is the number one fastest growing team within LifeWave. LifeWave is the fastest growing company in the whole networking space. And there really is hope for your future. We tell people we're hope dealers, not dope dealers. So we got a couple things coming up that we want to share with you real quick. But you want to get back together with the person who obviously introduced you to this and say, how do I get started? And they're basically going to talk to you about the different packages and help you get started. So we want to talk about something coming up in South Africa. So you want to talk about this real quick?
Yeah, so this is really exciting. LifeWave Power Forum happening in South Africa, Sandton on the 6th and the 7th of December. There is a QR code. Get registered. You don't want to be left out. It is for brand partners. There'll be training for 2 days. Lunch will be provided. There's a ticket price. And honestly, it is so affordable, and it includes lunch and coffees and so on. Okay, plus training for 2 days. And you can bring your friends that know nothing about the opportunity and they don't know how, the business aspect of it. They come free on the Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. to noon. So take advantage of that. Bring as many of your friends that you are sharing this with, but know that they've got to be there on the Saturday, 9:30 a.m. Okay, and they have to register. So make sure that you go to the Eventbrite link and you register them. Also, there's an incentive for top enrollers for the month of November. The top 10 enrollers will have dinner with all the leaders on the team and corporate management that are coming out from LifeWave to be a part of this. So that's pretty exciting. You want to be there at the table because you're going to learn a lot and you're going to rub shoulders with all the top leaders. It's exciting. It's good news for South Africa. South Africa is third highest volume for LifeWave throughout the entire European market, because South Africa is linked with Europe. So that's pretty exciting. And South Africa's on the map. They'll be doing a road show. They'll be doing some road shows next year. So turn out. It's pretty early in December. I know a lot of people go away from around about the 15th, 16th. So you want to make sure you get started. We're going to be there. So we're going to spend some time with all of you that are part of our team. So make sure you get registered today.
Absolutely. So if you're in South Africa, you want to be part of this. The other thing is in Europe, they've got different meetings that are going on. The third thing, the last thing on the we're going to share with you, this incentive trips. This is the next incentive trip for people who in North America. If you're in Canada, U.S., Mexico, and some of the different places on the islands, you basically have a free trip to Honolulu coming up where you can qualify for this. It's not just given to you. You got to qualify for it. But we've never missed one thing promoted to us. So we've actually, anything that we've been able to qualify for, we've qualified for. So this will be our 9th free incentive trip where we're going in Honolulu, Hawaii. For those of you in Europe, those of you in South Africa, those of you in Australia and New Zealand, guess what? You're going to Budapest. This is amazing. I want to go there. The hotel there that you're going to be staying at is a 5-star hotel. Beautiful, luxurious, stunning. You want to get together with a person, they can tell you the hotel where you're going to be staying, everything else. This is a picture of the hotel. It's absolutely phenomenal. So it's a literally a landmark that people know about, and they found the best hotel there, and they're putting you up at that hotel. So really the biggest thing we tell people is get back together with a person that got you on here today so you can get a better idea of what to do, how to do it. Most importantly you want to help people. If you want to help people, if you really say, I love helping people, you're at the right place at the right time, at the right team, in the right system, and we're going to help you to help a lot of other people. So Matt, I don't know if anything you want to wrap up with, otherwise we'll be done, and we're going to have a next level training we're doing in the next 10 minutes. So if you want to jump on that, anybody who's available to do that. So I don't know if anything you want to wrap up with, sweetie.
Yeah, I just want to say that we're with the best company, the right time, the right people, the right team, the fastest growing team in all of LifeWave, and the best product. Nobody else has it. So take advantage of what we have right now because this ship is moving on. If we thought the last 3 years were great, just wait and see what's happening. And LifeWave is out there. They're getting, I mean, you saw the award that we just got. There's lots
There's
of
a new
other things that are
documentary
coming
coming
out.
out. Yep.
So don't miss out. Get on this train and join with us. And I will be following up with any of you that are on here that need or have questions. So please be available. Let's schedule a time. But good to see you all, and we're going to see you soon in South
Yeah.
Africa. Yay.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Johan, Pam, great to see Bobby. Great to see you. Jenny
Graham,
is on here.
Antonia, thanks for
Yes.
jumping on. Good to see
Yes.
you.
Yep. That's Antonio. I got
David.
Graham. I got
Hey,
Hannah.
we've got
David.
next level.
Yep.
So
Yep.
join
Absolutely.
us
So
on
we're
next
jumping on there
level.
right now. So get on next level. If you don't know what that is, ask the person who invited you and see if you can get on that too. But that's for people who want to grow the business. We're going to be going over a lot of stuff today. It's pretty awesome. So God bless you guys. We'll see you real soon. Have a blessed day. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.